Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. Now, one of my biggest complaints over the last, I'm going to say 9 months with Thermaltake cases are, they've increasingly been getting too big. And I mean, that's well and good, and a lot of people are into that type of thing, but there's some people who want some smaller cases. And it turns out that Thermaltake was listening to those little complaints I was having with this brand new case, the Thermaltake S100 TG. So what we're going to do, basically the whole premise of this video is we're going to do a build in this case, but because Ryzen 3 3000 is launching at the same time, two birds, one stone. So we're going to do a Ryzen 3 3300X build in the brand new Thermaltake S100 TG. What do you reckon, Claire? Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
Cool, two birds, one stone. And there's also going to be a full Ryzen 3 3100 and 3300X video at this time when this video comes out too. So I guess you could watch that before and all that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, roll the intro, whatever. Let's go. As usual with these builds, we only use parts that we have on hand, and yeah, we grab them from our inventory. Obviously, because we're releasing this video at the launch of the new Ryzen processors, we're going to use a new Ryzen processor, but the motherboard is something you've seen before, which we'll get into towards the end of the video. But I think it's time for me to be quiet because we're going to build and then we're going to talk about parts and we're going to do benchmarks. We're going to show you how these new processors go in a, let's call this a budget PC, but obviously it's not really going to be that budget, but let's call it a, what's a good word for it, Claire? Like mid-range PC? Because it's not going to be over the top. It's going to be like right in that sweet spot for playing games. And like, yeah, computers, 2020, games, PC builds on YouTube.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. ladies and gents, it's time. We haven't visited our friends at Peel Corp for quite a while, so we're gonna do a peel, and no, I'm not gonna eat it. I don't wanna put any foreign objects into my body, given what's going on in the world right now. That sounds so wrong, Claire. Foreign objects. It's just, I mean, I don't wanna eat plastic, okay? So we're lucky. We get a double peel today. We get an inside peel, which we're gonna do first. See if we get a nice sound going on. It's very quiet. It could be better. Okay, let's go for round 2 of the peel. Are you ready, spaghetti?
I'm not spaghetti, but okay.
Okay, here we go. Ooh. That wasn't too bad. What did you think? It's time for the B-roll part, and then we'll crack on. Okay, let's go. Hope you guys enjoyed the build in the brand new Thermaltake S100 TG. I really like this case. They've actually made it very easy to build in. I was actually surprised at how nice it is. The cable management is pretty good. There's enough space behind the motherboard tray to fit all of your cables and just jam all your favorite stuff behind there. Even with those ridiculously long RGB and fan cables that Thermaltake makes, I want them to make them shorter. Please do this. Anyway, I think we're just gonna talk about the parts because that's everyone's favorite part of the video. That's what everyone always asks about. So let's do that. So the CPU in question is the brand new AMD Ryzen 3 3300X, and it launches exactly when this video comes out because yeah, this is our launch build for the 3300X and the 3100. The motherboard that I decided to go with was the ASRock B450M Steel Legend, and just to answer the question, because I know we're going to get questions about it, yes, we had to update the BIOS on this motherboard, and it's a possibility you might have to do that on your own if you want to use a Ryzen 3000 CPU, but it's really, really hit and miss. So there's no single answer that's gonna say, yes, it's gonna work, or no, it's gonna work. It literally just depends on how old the stock is of the motherboard that you get. Simple as that. Okay, for memory, we went with 16 gigs of Thermaltake Tough RAM at 3600 megahertz, and as I've talked about in the past, this is a really nice RAM kit. It performs really, really well, and it's one of the best 3600 megahertz kits that we've used on the channel. It is actually pretty rock solid, and I would recommend it if you can find it for a decent price. Now, all of the fans and everything are the Thermaltake Ring Duo fans. They're all configured in Thermaltake's TT RGB Plus software. It's really easy to configure. You can do the split lighting like that. Everyone always wants to know, but yeah, I always just use the software that of like the cooler or whatever that we're using. So we're using the DX240 flow ring from Thermaltake as well. Sorry, I'm just rattling this stuff off from the top of my head from memory. The GPU we're using is the ASRock Taichi 5700 XT OC Plus. It is the fastest 5700 XT on the market by a long shot. It is easily the most, that being said, out of all the ones we've tested, it stomps every other 5700 XT in quite considerably. So yeah, good job, ASRock. You did a good job on this card. For storage, we went with a 1TB Seagate FireCuda 520. Although it technically doesn't support PCIe Gen 4 on B450, it's a decent drive. It's pretty fast and I like it. And we actually have a review of this drive, and you can check it out up there, somewhere up there. There's a link to this review up there. And it is very, very competent. And yeah, that's basically it. And if you're interested in all the parts and all that stuff, obviously there's gonna be a PC part picker list down in the description down below. But let's talk about the case, because yeah, this case basically launches at the same time as the CPU, and that was kind of the point of this build and whatnot. So the case is the Thermaltake S100 TG. It's a micro ATX case. It only fits micro ATX motherboards, or ITX if you wanted to go down the route, but it's really designed for micro ATX. And to be honest, I was surprised at how nice it was. The hinged door is a really nice addition. I really like when they make cases like this, and also because I'm hiding behind a window and it looks ridiculous. It's magnetic, don't slam it too hard, otherwise you'll probably shatter the panel. And as I mentioned already, the cable management is pretty good. However, if you're using a bigger power supply, I would suggest removing the hard drive cage at the back. But if you've got like a regular size one, I would probably say you'd be okay. So probably anything that's under 160 mil long would probably be pretty decent. Now, one interesting thing to note as well with a build like this, and with the build that we did specifically with the GPU length, Thermaltake talks about it supporting a 320 mil long GPU. Ours is 324, which is slightly bigger than their spec, and it does just fit. It doesn't get anywhere near the fans, and I would say you probably could go for a 330 quite easily as well, unless they actually advertise a 330. In that case, I'd be wrong. But I watched Thermaltake's new video on the case. So, well, Thermaltake Australia's new video on the case, just to get a bit of info as well. They also talked about being able to fit 280 in the top and the front. Now, if you were to do a 280 at the top, I did test fit this. I didn't do this on video because I was going to use a 280. You can only rotate it with the pipes and the tubing coming out on the back side of the case. If it's on the front side of the case, you can't actually mount it to the top. And I'm pretty sure with a little bit of ingenuity, and like what we did with the Thermaltake H200, you could probably make a 360 fit at the front, but don't take my word for it. It could probably be possible. I might even do it in another build, but yeah, I think I could probably get a 360 to fit in this pretty easily, to be honest with you. And yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions about the case, let me know. I'll do my best to answer any questions you've got about it. But that being said, let's do some benchmarks when you can see the thermals and all that stuff. So let's do that right now. I hope you enjoyed all that. That's a lot of information to digest. Yeah, I like how the build turned out. I don't know why the RGB turned off on the back fan and on the CPU cooler. I don't know what happened, but yeah, well, obviously it'll be fixed in the B-roll, but you get the idea. It's that red and white theme that we did for Ryzen 3000 launch, that like Pokeball theme that you guys liked. So we decided that we'd go for it again. Yeah, cool. Anything else to add, Claire?
No.
Nothing? All right, well, we actually did a full review of the new Ryzen chips, and you can check that out also. It's up there somewhere, go check it out. And also, we make all the music here, so that's where the music comes from. You can grab it over on our Patreon. There's a link to that down below. Also, there's a PC part picker list for this system, so you can know how much it all costs and all that jazz and all the other whiz-bangery on the internet. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Consider hitting the join button or joining us on Floatplane for early access. And if you didn't like this video, hit that dislike button twice. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peak, we seek. And bravo to Thermaltake for making a pretty decent MATX case. Now, there's a lot of MATX cases coming out at the moment that I've seen, like stuff that's released and stuff that is releasing. I suspect we are going to see, Claire, are you ready for it? This is my prediction without actually having any information. This is a prediction. We're going to see a lot of MATX B550 boards.
Ooh.
That's what I reckon.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so let's hope that happens because I love building MATX systems. I really, really like them. They're some of my favorite. Give me another MATX Threadripper board like that X399 ASRock thing, but give me one of those with TRX 40 and I swear I will ditch my full-size system. I'll do it. I'm not even mad. I'm not even scared. I'll do it. Thanks for watching.